Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all having a fabulous day. Let's head on in to Collectively Rewilding. All right, here we are, and we're just going to dive into it because we deliberately kept this class smaller so that we have a variety of different timings for people. Some people don't want a full hour. Some people want more than 10 minutes. You know, it's all over the board. So we're going to be doing a variety of things with the timing. Tammy, you're not quite ready to move forward, but would you like to let everybody know where you're at with your project on getting your letters ready?
As of right now, I still haven't, I have a little bit of the letter still written, but I still haven't really, sat down and, had the time to really sit down and think of how I'm going to go about writing it.
You're
I just,
doing a lot, right? You have a lot going on right now.
yeah, for sure. So that's still on the, still
Well,
going.
I definitely encourage you to try to carve out at least 15 to 30 minutes to spend on that over this next week. You think you can commit to yourself to do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
All
It's
right.
something that
Sounds
has
like
to be
a plan,
done, and it's something that I always put
right?
on the back burner. I'll be like, I'll get to it, but sometimes I get ready for the new year, so when those grant like opportunities, are more likely to be there for what I want to do. It's a process, gathering all my good pictures and using the ones that I need instead of the ones that my old one. Like I need to take new photos, put it that way, and come at different
Well, make
angles.
yourself a list, right? You need to
Yeah.
make these photos. What else do you need to do? Let's just pull up a blank doc and we'll type this down really quick and then we'll jump into a call or something. I have to look
Yeah.
and see what contact information we can find, right? Okay, so one,
Um,
new pictures.
yeah, new pictures. Okay, and then secondly, start looking and uh, getting estimates on how much it would cost to like my landscaping. I don't know like what I want. I don't. I know I want flowers, herbs, and anything
So
that's green.
research options.
Yeah, for like the type of like my nursery, my local nursery, maybe have someone come out here and look at my property and give me ideas of like how am I gonna start this? Like where do I start? Like because I have a big property, and if I don't have anything outlined,
But just for that area with your tamarisk, right? Like that's what we're doing right here for this one.
okay. Oh yeah, but that whole hill, like that's
Mm-hmm.
just like it's connected,
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like okay, I need to have someone to come out here. Like if I couldn't get assistance to cut that tree down, like how much does it cost to like literally get that thing? I need estimates, tree trimmers coming out here and give me an estimate on how much it could cost. I need
Okay, so
professional.
we got that one, right? So we got
Yeah,
to keep it all punched, right? We have 30 minutes for the whole time
yeah,
slot.
yeah.
So new pictures, get estimates, and research options for landscaping with a local nursery. Are there any other steps that you feel you're lacking at this point?
No, not really.
Okay,
Just
so,
getting ready.
right?
You get a price, just
My husband's talking.
it's on the front page of the tidbit there. All the services we've been talking about we need to hire, they're all in front of
Yeah, we get like tidbits,
So all you need to-
like the
all
penny
you need
saver
to
kind of
do-
thing.
All you need to do is call the number for the tree trimming
Yeah.
service on the
Yeah.
front page and ask them how much they charge.
I know, honey. That's what I'm telling her. I need to call people and my area to see how much
All
it
right.
would cost.
So we've got that all documented for you, and I'll put this list in there, and then you should print it up and put it by your phone or by your computer or something.
I'm gonna put a postie on my computer. That's what I used to do. Put posties.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. All right, and so we'll post it here in member meetups for you. And that way, if you need to add more, we'll just pull it up and add more to your list, and it's already started, and you can print that up, and maybe we'll have something more to talk about with you next week. All right? All right, it sounds like maybe her dogs got loud. She doesn't like it when her dogs are barking, and I can understand. She's got a troop. So what we're doing here for this area is looking at two things. I want to contact local tree trimmers, and I also want to contact the parent company for, well, the parent company's nonprofit for the wood chips that are created when they maintain the trees for lines and things, just kind of like what Tammy dealt with earlier. She was hoping they would cut a lot more out of those tamarisk or salt cedars, but they did come and trim them away from the power lines. So salt cedars, no, that's in the word salt, you know, that's not going to be good compost, but for good trees, right? Not tamarisk or salt cedar, preferably not juniper, laurel, eucalyptus, or black walnut. All right, those all have different kinds of chemicals that will make it harder for other plants to survive near them or under their mulch or with their mulch, right? So you don't want to use any of those types of trees. So the first thing I think that we should do is call the local tree trimming services, Tooele, Utah. All right. And so these are the sponsored. I don't really care for those. I kind of tend to move away from that and look into the things here. So this is letting me know that this is in Sandy and this is in Erda. So that's a little bit closer here. All right. And they have their phone number listed right here. So let me just, then when we talk about calling places and you don't know really what you're going to say, that's just it. You've got to just do it. The first time it's going to be awkward. You're not exactly going to know what you're going to say. And you'll get more and more comfortable the more you make yourself do it, right? So we're going to call the Tooele Tree and Stump LLC located in Erda. Isn't that funny? I guess they're saying Tooele County. All right. And so we will call these folks up and see if they even answer the phone, right?
Hello.
Hello, is this Tooele Tree and Stump?
Yes, it is.
Hello, I recently moved to the Tooele area and I have this idea that I would like to communicate about a really neat service that is out there for tree trimming companies. I'm not affiliated. I don't make any money off of this. It's just something I believe in. I believe in lowering costs while doing things that are better for the environment. And there's a service out there. If you often have trees that you don't want to take to the landfill, there's getchipdrop.com. And all you do is you go in, you pay $20, and you can find a local person that will accept your wood chippings and a few logs or even a whole order of logs. And you only pay for the service, and then you don't have to put that into the landfill or pay the landfill, which I would guess for most loads, a full load would be quite a bit more than $20. Does that sound like something that you would be interested in me getting you the information on? No, you don't end up with a lot of excess wood chips that you have to take to the landfill?
Not interested, thanks.
Okay, so that didn't work out very well. Unfortunately, that is something that you'll run across. So what do I do then? Okay, so now I've felt it out. I've done the first one and it felt really awkward. You guys could probably feel that it was awkward. He could feel that it was awkward. I'm trying to get it across that I'm trying to offer him something without it costing him really any. And he felt like that was a sales pitch. So to me, I feel like I need to modify my approach already, right? So how do I approach a company to say, look, I'm just a local resident and this would be something that would benefit your customers and you could leave your card with them every time. I'm not affiliated with this. I just want to see, it feels weird, right? So any thoughts on what we could say that would be a non-sales pitch type of approach? Yeah, then he's thinking, right? It's rough. So, okay, let's take it to Gemini. Probably doing specific things with these Geminis. Let's pull up a different Gemini. And we're going to have it on flash. Good. We're going to learn. I am trying to approach local tree trimming services to expose them to a service that will allow them to get rid of their tree trimming by giving them to citizens in their service area instead of paying to take them to a landfill. Okay, let's read through that. I am trying to approach local tree trimming services to expose them to a service that will allow them to get rid of their tree trimmings by giving them to citizens in their service area instead of paying to take them to a landfill. This service is called Get Chip Drop. Let's just check. I believe that is a .com. Let's use my other browser. Okay, getchipdrop.com. And it would cost the tree trimming company $20 a time to utilize Get Chip. I approached a local company, and from the conversation I had with that company, it felt that the responder thought we were in a sales call. I said that I had recently moved to the area, that I wasn't affiliated, only interested in helping the environment while lowering a businesses cost. I'm not sure if that's the proper use of that word, so there would be an apostrophe involved.
Or you could put expense.
I'm sorry?
Put expense if you don't want to use cost.
Okay, a business is expensive. That's good, okay. However, the response was framed in a fashion of rejecting a sales call. Can you please offer an approach that would feel less like a sale? I've never used guided learning, so we'll see if this is the right Gemini perspective to interact with, right? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let me read that out loud. I'm just reading it quietly to myself. I'm sorry. It says, To honor your request for a true critique, because I asked Gemini to not flatter me, but to really critique what I do. I read it in an article or saw it on a YouTube video or something as a recommendation. I was like, that's really brilliant, because you can feel there's almost a sycophantic or excessive brown nosing. Okay, sycophantic is basically saying that's like an old world word, and the true critique is what I'm looking for. And I think that most of us may like that, yay, you're doing great, but we really are looking for an honest answer when we're asking an AI service, an LLM, large language model, for interaction in that way, right? So to honor your request for a true critique, the reason your first approach was perceived as a sales call is likely because you started with 2 common sales disclaimers, and I felt it when it came out of my mouth, right? I too have been in sales, and so it says, the who I'm not defense. Saying I'm not affiliated can raise suspicion because it's often used as a preamble before a soft pitch for a sale, right? Number 2, the key benefits statement. Opening with helping the environment while lowering expenses sounds exactly like the sentence of a standard cold call pitch. Your goal is to shift the frame from a sales pitch to a data sharing consultation or peer-to-peer industry observation. I felt like it was more of a local community member sharing information with a business, but let's see what they suggest. Strategy, the industry peer approach. The key is to discuss a shared pain point, disposal cost, first, then introduce the solution as a helpful resource you stumbled upon, not a service you are selling. Step one, the direct pain point opener. Start by focusing on the company's biggest logistical challenge and cost, getting rid of the material. This shows you understand their business reality. Hi, I'm calling because I was curious about something in the local tree service logistics. I know that tipping and landfill fees are massive overhead costs. Is that your biggest pain point in terms of debris removal here in our community? Why this works. It's a direct, data-focused question about their problem. It shows respect for their industry knowledge and invites them to talk about their expenses, which is a conversational green light for most business owners. Step 2, the data-driven transition. Once they confirm the cost is a problem, you introduce the $20 get check drop fee as an observed cost reduction mechanism, not a new expense. User, this is the tree company. It's a huge pain. We spend hundreds every week. Talking to them from my perspective, that's exactly what I guessed. I've been researching how local companies manage that cost, and I found a resource that essentially lets you outsource the tipping fee to local citizens who want mulch. Have you heard of the service getchipdrop.com? Why this works. You are presenting the solution as something you found through research, not something you are representing. You also frame the value immediately. Outsource the tipping fee. Step 3, the collaborative resource close. The close is where you confirm the benefit and step back, leaving the resource with them to investigate. So I would say to them, from what I've seen, companies pay, and it's just 20, I wouldn't say about, companies pay $20 per drop through them, which is often a small fraction of the cost to take a full load to the landfill. I just thought it was a brilliant way to cut costs while keeping the debris out of the landfill, and I wanted to make sure local businesses know about it. And then, I hope you have a great day. Bye. That's it. Just say it and drop it and walk away. Why this works. You offer the final compelling data point, $20 versus 100, hundreds, who knows. Confirm the full benefit, cost, and environment, and then remove yourself from the equation. This makes it clear you are sharing a tip, not asking for a signature. All right. So it then asks which part of this new approach, the opening, the transition, or the close, feels like it would be the most difficult to deliver naturally. I felt like with just a couple of times of trying to read through those, I would be able to say it in my own words pretty naturally. And it's much better as an approach, right? We don't have time to go through it again today. So I'm going to print this up, right? And we're going to go all the way up to here. And we'll print this whole thing, and we will have it for the next class when we work on the things that I'm working on here. All right, excellent. Excuse me. So what did you guys think about that? Did that help you feel a little more comfortable knowing that anybody doing this is going to sound foolish the first couple of times. What did you think about hearing me sound just so completely awkward for that first call?
You sounded really like a salesperson.
I did, right? I could
Yeah.
feel it. I was like,
Yeah.
excuse my language, but yeah, I could feel it coming out, right? That wasn't what I was trying to go for. Shoot.
It just sounds like by habit. It's not like we know what we sound like, but when we listen to ourselves, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyone else thought? Everybody just thought it sounded awkward or sales pitchy, pretty much. What do you guys think about the new approach? Do you think that might have better success?
Yeah, I do. Just
Yeah.
practice it in your own words. Get you a mirror and talk to it.
I practice with you guys, to be completely real about it, right? I come in with you guys and we do it together. And then I feel it myself, right? I could feel that sales pitchy kind of a tone to the conversation. And then I get to talk to you guys about it as well. Yes, Arizona, so good to see you.
And yeah, how you doing, Sabrina?
Good, and you?
I'm okay.
Oh, and you muted yourself.
I said, yes, it was a good sale pitch. It
So it didn't
sounded
sound
good.
awkward, it just sounded like a sales pitch. Okay, gotcha. Very good. All right, guys, well, we have it all printed. And so Candace did end up coming in after we kind of gotten started. So I didn't hear whether or not you were ready to move forward with your project, Miss Candace.
We can work on it the next time.
Absolutely. And so it's a quick class, guys. So if you want to have your area worked on, make sure you're here. And if I see you in the waiting room and I have a minute, I'll even let you in early and we'll make sure that we're all ready for it and that's what you're wanting to do and why you're in the waiting room, right?
Okay, sound good. Thank you.
Excellent. And so wonderful. And I hope you guys all do think about this and different things that you might want to get done in your community and how this approach has to work with the people you're calling, right? No matter what you're trying to do. And even if you were trying to sell something, obviously it wasn't a good enough sales pitch to have sold the gentleman something, right? And so all of those things, don't feel silly or foolish if you can help it. Instead, learn from it, right? That's what we went to Gemini for. We wanted to learn. We were doing a guided learning with Gemini. And Gemini had some really good suggestions. I don't feel like I'm much good at sales. And so one, we saw that it didn't work. Two, I didn't realize that I would speak and sound so salesy when I approach someone not trying to get a sale. But that is my background, right? 21 years in mostly the serving industry, but a few gas stations, a couple of hotels, I don't know that I ever worked at a big box store or anything like that, but lots of customer service oriented sales. And it just came out naturally. And that wasn't what I was trying to go for. And I just knew the second I said the words I said, I didn't really have a better thought to replace them in the moment. But I knew as I said the words I said that it was going to feel like a sales pitch. And so just looking at what we're doing, it isn't something that we're supposed to be perfect at. We're stretching outside of ourselves. This isn't something that we necessarily went to school for, or even if we did, such as myself, I took even college public speaking courses and things like that, education courses through the junior year of college before I couldn't afford it anymore and got really disillusioned with the education system in general. And so, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought there. Oh yeah, even if we have some training towards it, it may have been years and years since we've touched on it, right? It's been over 20 years. My oldest child is 18 and I had stopped going to school for about 5 or 6 years by the time I had her. So we're talking close to 3 decades already that I haven't been in school any longer. And so we have to touch on skills that we have or learn skills that we never acquired because they weren't of interest to us when we were younger, et cetera, and look at it as learning, not as being perfect, or else you'll never do it. You just got to do it. That's it. That old Nike slogan, right? It's a real thing. Just do it. Whatever it is, If you've done the research you felt you needed to do, if you're ready to be in the moment and it's a good time period of the day for the people you're trying to contact, etc., just go for it. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no way to get better unless you go and pay someone or join a free class, right? So when we're doing these things, don't try to be perfect. Try to be personable. Try to be real. Try to be approachable more than trying to be perfect. All right, guys, let's jump into our calendar and see what we have coming up. And that is Gardens and More tomorrow in the evening. That will be, Gardens and More Q&A, I should say, tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Mountain, 9:30 p.m. Central, and 10:30 p.m. Eastern. All right, everybody. Hope to see you there, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Please feel free to unmute and say good night, guys.
Say some,
Yes, Arizona.
I can't sign in and let's go help. I can't
I
sign in.
did answer you. You don't have an account there anymore, Arizona. So you shouldn't be getting charged for it anymore. Are you still getting charged?
I just paid it. Why I don't have an account anymore?
I'm not really sure. You're going to need to reach out to Mary Pacey, and I will put that in. So you want to use her email address, right? I'll put it in a post here for you. And you need to contact leskohelp@gmail.com and ask why your account was deleted. Please provide proof if you are able to in the email. All right. There we go. And so, yeah, that's the only thing that we can do with that, Arizona. Unfortunately, I don't have access to any of that kind of information or ability to say, oh, okay, yep, I can see that you're paying and that was a mistake. You know, we apologize. Let's get that corrected. I don't have that ability, right? That's all Mary Pacey. But don't put Mary Pacey in the email title. It's just leskohelp@gmail.com. Just copy what I've got there for you and paste it right into your email so that you make sure you get it right. Okay?
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Of course. All right, guys. Well, please feel free to unmute and say good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye, guys. Have a great night. See you all tomorrow.